Hi, this is Kyle from ifisave.com. Today I'll be going over our budget page, what it can do for you, and how it can help you to um, track your expenses and best utilize the resources you have. To start off with, we have our overview, a little bit of a high-level view of how you're doing and where you are in your budgets. A couple of widgets up here that give you some detailed information of your budgets and how you're allocating your money, and maybe like a health check on big ticket expenses. Next, we have our budget overview, which shows you how you're doing towards your budgets. So this will show you how much of your budget you've spent and how you're doing towards your goals and saving and hitting those budgets in the month. As you can tell, there's a little bit of a gradation in the colors to help you kind of highlight where you are. We do have the ability to add transactions and manage transactions within the page, and also the ability to import data from your financial institutions like your bank or your credit card, where you can export that data as a CSV, comma separated values file, and you can just import that here. There's a header, and all the data is underneath each row in a kind of a row by row representation. So our app is able to interpret that and plug it into our tables here. If you don't want to do it manually, there is an option using Plaid, which is an industry standard secure transactions syncing utility. They do a lot more than that. Banks use them for payroll and other things like that. So it's trusted by banks, it's trusted by us. So we can use that to automate this page a little bit more and make it easier to use. So the first thing we have here is our income, where you can estimate what you should receive every month, and you can track where you are in that expectation. And then expenses. So for expenses, we have the budgets, right? So you create a budget for each type of expense. Each category is put into each of these budgets. So, and each transaction maps to a category. If you have two or more categories in a budget, then each of those categories shows up as its own table, and you can see how much of that budget is actually spent on that category. And you can move categories from budget to budget just by dragging and dropping them. So you can also update a category by just clicking and selecting a new category, even adding a new one. So there's a lot of refinement there you can do. One thing we do that is a little bit different and unique is we give the ability to split transactions. So if you wanted to split a transaction, I'll show you an example here of one I've already split. But you can take a transaction. Say you go to a Walmart or even a grocery store, right? And you spend $80 on food, and then you maybe spend some money on something that's not food, like maybe an ice chest or who knows, right? Dishes, whatever. And then another money, some more money on like a DVD or something. You can categorize each of those different transactions as a different category. And when you do that, when you then you go back and look, those categories each show up, those subcategories each show up in that category that you've moved it to. So it goes against that category and not all against the groceries. So I want to know if I went and bought groceries or food, I want to know that the groceries cost me this much, and the splurge I spent on entertainment or something goes towards entertainment in that entertainment budget. So I want to know where. I don't want to know where I bought my stuff. I want to know what I bought in those categories. So, but as you can see, you can modify your budgets if you feel like you're not where you need to be on the budget. It needs to be adjusted. You can move categories around, like I showed before. Say you don't want something categorized, like a credit card payment, right? You don't have to add that category to a budget. The categories for, I mean, this is like credit cards are, you categorize the transactions, not the credit card payment. So this is one way to look at it. This is actually a sliding window monthly view, so it just shows the last 30 days, whereas this other view up here, the month at a glance, shows by the calendar month. It'll show you what you have left to spend in your budgets, how much you've spent, or actually how much you have left to spend of your actual income, right? No, actually of your budget, yeah. So, and then this shows you how much you're actually making compared to your budget, and then when your next paycheck will be coming through, if you have another one left this month. This shows you also how much extra you have to spend, or to budget, or to set a savings goal or a debt payoff goal. And we also have a recurring algorithm that basically takes the last several months and looks for items that have recurred over over those months, and we'll actually mark those as recurring expenses, so that you can know that you're maybe still going to see more expenses in that month, so you know whether or not you're going to attain your goal of staying within your budget. It will also show you your recurring payroll, paychecks, and if you have anything left, then it'll show you that's still coming. It'll show you when that's going to come to. And of course, you can fine tune these auto found recurring payments and paychecks by modifying these, removing them or editing them, so you can refine it and help the tool with its algorithm. So that's the budget overview. I mean, that's the month at a glance. And then every budgeting app really needs a way to create long-term savings goals. So with this, if you're going to go on a trip, say you're going to go on a trip in November, you want to be able to save towards that goal, so you can pay for that trip and not have to go into some other savings, or even maybe pay for it out of credit, right? This allows you to set that. It allows you to track it. You can actually set it to where it tracks against a savings account. So at my bank, I can create as many savings accounts as I want. So if I want to create a new budget, a long-term savings goal, I create a new savings account, and then I tie that savings account to that goal, and I can track how I'm doing and how much money I have left to spend. I mean, how much I need to basically be putting in there every month in order to attain that goal by the goal date, right? You can also update that. You can update these values whenever you come in by updating it here, or you can use Plaid, and it will pull it automatically, so you can see what your progress is and what your monthly contribution need is at this point, at any point, right? So it also, you can set each of these things, you can set to a budget, so you can create a budget for it, so that you're actually allocating monthly income towards this budget, towards this goal. And if you set aside the money in a budget, then you won't spend it on something else. So this is a good way to do that. But that is the budgets in a super quick format. I hope this was helpful to you, to give you an idea of what the tool can do as far as budgets go. We do have other tabs here to give you other opportunities to guide your financial future, help you get out of debt, keep track of your investments, help you with retirement planning and seeing what it would take to retire, maybe when you can retire, how Social Security and healthcare costs, all those things kind of go into it. Look for these other videos. I'll go through these other tabs. Even tracks your property, and then shows you some trend analysis. And we have a blog where we actually try to keep you up to date on the latest things and in the financial world, and also different strategies you might use, and updates to our application. So I hope this was useful to you. I hope maybe this is something that might interest you. Remember, it's free to use. If you do want to auto sync and automate it, there is a little cost, but like I say, we pass on that cost to you because it does cost us to provide that service. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.